Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another giant forehead. In this video we are going to be talking about an update I have for you guys in relation to the scenario or the issue in relation to the EX move. You know, I told you guys yesterday that essentially what was happening was there was false advertising going on in the game for 6 months. No point in beating around about the bush, that is what it was. I'm not going to go over the entire thing again. You can check out the upload that was literally before this one. I'll link it at the end if you want to see what's actually been happening. So anyway, we do have an update in relation to that, and I am going to show you what it is. I'm just going to show you what has been said, which to be fair right now isn't much, right? But hey, you know what, I'm a man of my word. If something happens, I'm going to update people and let them know. But basically this so far is the update that we have. Okay, so basically the devs have essentially heard the noise, which was the point, right? Absolutely, it was the point. That's why I made the video, and I believe that is why Rokage wanted to essentially reiterate the same message. He wanted to make sure that the voice was going to be louder because it was going to be echoed by someone else. Now I actually have a reply to this post, and I want to talk about it because unfortunately there's maybe been a little bit of misconception that's gone around about. Painblade actually reported this a while ago. Now, I had not spoken to Painblade about it, so I didn't know that this existed, but he did know, and he took it to the dev. He took it to the dev team. Not the dev team, but he took it to the staff, and he basically said, look, this is happening, can you fix it? And he had mentioned it a few times in his videos and stuff like that. I said in reply to this, look, I really appreciate this. It's great that you're going to be doing something, which hopefully is the right thing to do. I'll come back to that in a minute, but I did say it shouldn't really take people like me dragging the game, the devs, whatever, through the mud for them to actually sit up and take notice. But unfortunately it seems like that's what it took. So I just want to give credit where it's due. Privately, Payne did report it, right? So I've seen people maybe making comments saying that, oh, you don't care. It's not necessarily true. Just because he didn't make a video specifically about this one topic doesn't mean it wasn't mentioned in previous topics. So I'm just getting that out of the way to kind of quell any bullshit within the community, to be completely honest. But anyway, it's going to be dealt with, right? It doesn't say how it's going to be dealt with. To be honest, I'll be straight with you guys. In my opinion, there's only one way you can deal with it, and it is to make the thing that's been sold for the last 5 months. And devs, if you do watch this video, don't try and do any shenanigans like removing it, because if you remove it, if you take away speed, then you have still false sold that EX skill for the last 5 months, right? Plain and simple. That's all there is to it. And ultimately, I know you guys do not like to give compensation. I don't know why, but you don't. When something goes wrong, you don't like to give compensation. But for the last 5 months, people have had this. People have paid for this. People have worked towards this, and it does not do what it's supposed to do. With relation to purchasing it, it was false sold, right? Whether that was an accident at first, it became unfortunately malicious because you knew about the issue, you didn't address the issue, and you left the item up on sale, not doing what it was supposed to do. So it was false advertising. There's no if, buts or maybes. So you have to compensate people for that time. And moving forward, if it then works how it's supposed to work, job's a good one, everything's fine, no worries, right? Done. Sorted. What you can't do is you cannot go in and remove it, okay? Because if you go in and remove it, you're still going to have to compensate people, okay? But you're going to have to compensate people more, because anyone who bought that skill, you cannot in any way, shape or form prove that they did not purchase that skill because of the speed boost, okay? So my advice to you as a development team is do not remove the speed, because if you remove the speed, you're essentially leaving yourself open to anyone that wants to claim that they purchased it solely for the speed to pursue a refund. And realistically, you cannot ban someone for refunding for something that didn't perform the function that it was supposed to perform, right? So my advice to you guys is pretty straightforward, it's pretty clear. Just fix the speed, make it add speed like it's supposed to, and address it, apologise for it, and give people compensation. That is it, plain and simple, okay? So when I know what this is, what that they're going to do, hopefully I don't need to tell you guys. Hopefully it is in the update. Now, we'll obviously speak about it, right? But hopefully what they do is they put it here. They address it here. They tell everyone what... I'll move that away. It's getting in the road now. Move it up to the top, right? Hopefully they put it in here so that people are clear, they know what's happening, fully transparent, no issues whatsoever, right? That's what we want, right? If they don't, then I'll let you guys know, right? But if that's the case, then that obviously means they haven't gone down the compensation route and doing things properly. So now that that's out of the way, and we know that they're going to address it, I just want to address one other thing. It should not take someone like me and Rokage making videos, publicly putting the development team on blast to get them to fix these things, okay? That is why I done it. I done it because I wanted them to notice it, basically. I wanted them to be like, oh crap, he's told everyone, we need to get this sorted. I feel like situations like this, me as a content creator, even though I've not got the largest following in the world, I've got to use the following I've got to apply pressure, right? And that is the intention. And I'm glad Rokage jumped on it as well. And I understand why Payne never made another standalone video, because if you've mentioned it, and I've gone back and checked, he did loads of times. If you've mentioned something so many times, it just feels like you're flogging a dead horse at the end of the day, constantly going over it. Trust me, I know, I'm sick of people asking me about the old pity situation, which I blew up at that point in time. So I get it completely, right? But it shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take us having to make these videos. In the first instance, when Payne contacted them, when people like Solo and loads of other people within the Discord, when they reported this, I'm sure Pika reported it as well, because I'm sure he had an upvoted comment or something that was like hundreds of people had upvoted it to say this needs to be looked into. That is when this should be dealt with, right? It shouldn't be 5 months later. It shouldn't be a content creator who's spreading it on Reddit and stuff like that to get eyes on it, plain and simple, just to force the development team's hand to actually do something. Because what you guys are actually doing is you're sending a signal to me and other content creators that if we want you to do things in this game, the only way you're going to do it is if we drag you to the public, letting the public know exactly what you're not doing. And I'd rather not do that. I would rather not do that. I would rather that the bug reporting and stuff like that could be used correctly. You know, users report a bug. If you know it's there, simple, acknowledge it, say, okay, we understand that this bug's there, we're going to work on this, we don't have an ETA for when it's going to be fixed, but rest assured, when it is fixed, we'll let you know and we'll compensate you as a form of apology for this happening. That's it. That's it. You don't need to make grandiose promises where you're saying to people, oh, we'll get on it right away and fix it immediately. Because we know that resources are limited and sometimes you can't do that, right? So as players, all we want you to do is tell us that we've heard you, we're going to fix it, and when we fix it, we'll come back to you with how we're going to make up for it. That's it. That is it. That's all we need, right? Don't ignore it. Don't bury your head in the sand, because yes, this kind of did go away because I think people forgot about it, but I only found out about it, and when I did, people know what I'm like, I'll blow up about it because that's just me, right? But in future, I don't want to have to drag this game and the development team through the mud to get mistakes fixed. So use the reporting tools, look at them, look at what the community are telling you. If you can't fix things right away, just acknowledge them. Tell them, we're going to work on it, guys. Okay? We hear you, we're going to work on it, and we'll make it up to you when we do. That's it. That's all anyone wants. So anyway, guys, this is being worked on. How it's being worked on, what the outcome's going to be, I do not know. All I know is if the outcome is going to be removal of the speed description, just to be clear, again, here is the image. If it is removing that bit that says speed, then we're still going to have a problem, and I really hope that's not what the solution is, but we'll need to wait and see, right? So there's your update. It's been heard. Now we await to see what step 2 is. Catch you.